why do you finish back day with nothing but a bicep pump? After reviewing hours of training footage of my clients, it almost always comes down to one simple thing, especially if pull-ups are still your main back exercise. So in the next 4 minutes, I'll show you why you only feel your arms and the exact exercises and cues that took me 7 years to learn, so your lats and traps do the work and your back finally starts growing. That bicep pump is the sign you're pulling with your arms and not with your back. And the reason for that is very simple. The back is one of the hardest muscle groups to engage, and most people never learned how to do it right. Pull-ups expose this faster than any other exercise, and that's exactly why pull-ups are not the fastest way to build big lats for most guys. Because body weight is often too heavy to pull with good form. And when form breaks, the first thing you lose is shoulder and shoulder blade control. And that matters because your lats work through movement of the shoulder by pulling the arm down and by pulling the arm back. When your shoulders aren't doing the work, your arms take over. And even though the rep looks the same, a pull-up becomes a bicep exercise. So what do we do instead? To train the entire lats effectively, we need two types of exercise. A vertical pull to bias the arm down direction, and a horizontal pull for the arm back direction. And just to be clear, both movements do happen at the same time in every pull, but I want you to think of it as a skill where one simply dominates over the other. My go-to vertical pull exercise is a single arm pull down, because you have way more control over the load than with a pull-up, and because the lats run diagonally from the lower back all the way up to the shoulder, the single arm setup lets you pull in line with the muscle fibers, something a regular lat pull down can't do. And here's how you really fire those lats up. So in a fully stretched position, let the shoulder roll up with your elbow pointing upwards. And you start every rep by pushing the shoulders down before you pull. This way you engage the lat first and you limit pulling with the bicep as much as possible. Then drive your elbow towards your front pocket into the shortened position, where your shoulder is down and your body is leaning in and crunching the lat. Reverse the movement by keeping the shoulder pushed down until the very end, and then let it roll all the way up. This keeps your lat fully engaged throughout the entire rep. And to be clear, pull-ups are not a bad exercise. But if you're feeling mostly your arms, I found that this single arm pull down variation is the most effective way to get your lats to really fire up. So the single arm pull down covers the arm down direction, but the lats also need to be pulled back. So next, I'll show you my favorite horizontal pull exercise, and that's a single arm row. Wait, but doesn't a row train the mid back? Well, they can, but it depends on the elbow path. When you flare the elbows out, it'll be trap focused, but keeping them close to the body will be more lat focused. So when doing a lat bias row, you want to start in a lengthened position with your elbow and palm facing inwards. And instead of pulling with the arm, first push down the shoulder and then pull through the elbow in a down and back direction towards the hip. Now don't just yank the weight. The first cue is to push the shoulder down before you pull. The second is to drive the elbow down and back towards your hip, while keeping the elbow close to your body, almost as if you're trying to scrape the floor with your pinky. These two cues together are the key to turning this into a lat bias row. And once you stop just moving the weight from point A to point B and start moving it with intention, you'll finally feel your lats working harder than your arms. But now, lats are only half of getting that massive back. To get a thicker looking back, we need to develop the traps. And because the trap's main job is pulling the shoulder blades together, we'll need a rowing movement where the elbows are going outwards. And honestly, there's a lot of great rowing variations, but the one I've been loving lately is the wide grip seated row. But there's one mistake that turns this into an arm exercise. Most people start by pulling with the hands. And the fix for this is quite simple. You start the movement by squeezing your shoulder blades first and not by pulling straight away. I even have my clients practice this part only before doing the full row. So you keep your arms straight, and the only way you move the weight is by moving the shoulder blades. And once you have good control of the shoulder blades, this is the most effective way to engage the traps. The weight just sits in your hand, almost like your fingers are nothing more than a hook. And with your arms fully straightened, pull the shoulder blades together and keep squeezing them as your arms move towards the bottom of your ribcage. Then slowly push the weight back to the starting position by rolling the shoulder blades forward. The key to a thick back is movement of the shoulder blades. But if you really want that full aesthetic look, you need big arms to go with your back. So watch this video next and it'll show you exactly how to blow up your arms so fast it's almost illegal.